Hey everyone, welcome to a new video, welcome to my channel. My name is Mike and today's video is going to be a full face of Dior. And this video is a very long time in the making because Dior is quite an expensive brand. So that means that I've gathered these products over the years, and I definitely also don't have like a full face, like my usual like primer or setting spray. I've just rolled those in for my Shop My Stash because even though the brand does make those products, and I hear quite a few people saying really positive things about a lot of Dior products, but I'm not necessarily interested in trying those, and that's why I don't have all of it because it's already enough as it is. And Dior as a brand, I knew I had to feature it in this series because Dior is one of my OGs. I remember way back in the day when I first got into makeup, Dior was one of the brands I definitely gravitated towards the most. I thought makeup had to be very expensive for it to be good. Not sure where that came from, but that's how I felt at the time. So Dior was one of my go-tos, and yeah, that's why we also have some things here that I've taken from my makeup memory box that I can also show you. So I'm going to show you everything that I own from the brand and whack as much of it on my face as I can, and we're going to chat about this makeup. So let me get started. So as I'm going to be priming, I'm just going to use the Essence one that is in my Shop My Stash. Let me talk a little bit about Dior because I think the brand was definitely one that didn't get a lot of hype for a while, but lately, for some reason, I hear so many people talking about them again. So I'm not sure what has changed with them and why people have decided to hype them up a little bit again. Maybe it's that Backstage line that they released. I have a few of the products from that line as well. I think that may have been a good move on their behalf. But yeah, Dior is one of those brands like a Lancome or a Chanel that just like, it's got more of like a classy lady vibe than like a, ooh, makeup, interesting, pioneering stuff kind of vibe. However, for years, I remember really early on when I first started reading beauty blogs, Dior was also a brand that quite a lot of people raved about, especially here in Europe. Maybe because it's a brand that's quite easy for us to get. But yeah, Dior was just all around, it seemed. So I definitely have a few products that I would like to show you from like way back in the day that I still have because yeah, there's just a couple of really good ones here that unfortunately just didn't really work out for me personally, and you know, either it wasn't really my tone or anything like that. But let's just get started with the first Dior product, and it's this little mini guy I actually bought. I don't remember what I bought, but I got it free as a gift with purchase for one of the products that I bought for this video, and it's one of their Lip Maximizers, and this is a product I've never tried. Dior, for the longest time, made the only lip gloss that I have kept around in my makeup collection for a while because it was just a really perfect formula. So I thought I could put this on as like a bit of a lip balm moment and let it sink in and see that it actually maximizes anything. I never really believe in these things, but I thought I could try it as the mini. So we'll get to other lip products towards the end because I definitely have something else that I would like to show you as well. But this is just to throw it on so it can sit on my lips as I'm doing the rest of my makeup. I always like to start with like a little bit of a lip balm moment. But let's just get cracking with foundation. One of the best foundations in my makeup collection, this is definitely one of my top 5 favorite foundations, is the Dior Backstage foundation. This comes in a range of shades. It's a really lovely formula. It's quite long wearing. It's not too thick and cakey. It looks quite natural on the skin. And this is my favorite foundation for travel because it's a plastic bottle. It has just a squirt out top, and therefore it just can't make a mess in your makeup bag when you're traveling. So I love to bring this with me on vacation, especially because it has such a great wear time. I'm someone that when I travel, I do my makeup early on in the day and then I don't touch it up throughout the day. And this foundation lasts so well on me. It's really lovely. So I decided to go back to it. And another really great perk, because even though this is of course high-end and it's quite a bit of money that you spend on this, it's good to know that this comes with 50 milliliters of product, which is about 20 milliliters more than your average foundation that you would normally get, because most foundations are 30 mils. So you get more and you get loads of different shades. I have mine in 0N, and that's what the foundation looks like on the back of my hand. I'm gonna start with a little bit and then just see if I need more. But yeah, this is such a lovely, lightweight formula, and that's what I love about this one. Alright, so that's the foundation on. I just used a very light layer just to even things out a little bit. And this is the kind of foundation that really reminds me of like what MAC's Face and Body does for me as well. However, MAC's Face and Body doesn't come in my shade because they only do warm and cool and they don't do anything neutral, but this shade does come in neutral shades. And I find that in terms of like a shade match, this is one of the best shade matches I also have in my collection. This isn't the only Dior foundation I've ever tried. In fact, I used one up in the past and there was one other one that I tried that just went bad on me. So, but yeah, this is the only one I currently have. I almost bought their new one. They do like a skin tint kind of thing now for the summer, but I was like, nah, no can do. I have something to show you and that's fine. What I did purchase for this video is the Forever Skin Correct Concealer. Let me see. This is in the shade 1N. And Dior, like many luxury brands, unfortunately does not sell all of their shades in the Netherlands. This was the lightest shade I could get, and it's actually, I think, a little bit too dark for me. It's got a huge doe foot. It comes with a ton of product. This is 11 milliliters, so it's even more than the Shape Tape that I used up, or that I used to use in the past. That's like the biggest concealer I've ever used. So again, a more expensive product, but you do get a lot. However, with concealer, I don't mind it if it's like a little bit deeper, because I usually just like blend it into things anyways. And I feel that if a concealer has a roughly good shade match, it does more concealing than when it's super light. So I don't really mind the shade on me, but it is just a hair too deep, I find. And I am also blending this in, not just with a clean sponge, but with a brand new one. I decided to open up a new one because guess what happened, you guys? I know this is very random, but this is my favorite makeup sponge. It's the Paw Paw Wonder Blender from Shop Miss A by the brand AOA. It retails for like $1.55 and it's my favorite. And the thing with this sponge is that I placed an order in January that never arrived. And guess what it did? That order finally arrived at my doorstep. So I already placed a new order in the meantime. So now I have almost double the amount of these sponges. So I was like, now I have so many, it doesn't matter if I open up a new one. But yeah, I also did clean my brushes before I sat down to film today's video, because I just really wanted to clean my brushes and have them all nice and neat looking again for you. But yeah, this sponge is just one of my favorites, and I just thought I could update you on that endeavor. So do you just see that the concealer looks okay once I blend it in? I mean, it is a little bit like just a hair too deep. It would have been better if I could have gotten like 0N, but that shade is not sold anywhere where I live, and I couldn't order it from abroad either because I couldn't really find it anywhere. So it seems to be one of those shades that they only do in certain areas. I'm quickly going to be powdering my face and doing my brows with products that are in Dior, and then I'll be back with the rest of my face makeup. Alright, so I'm back, and I now start to feel that Lip Maximizer actually. It's been on for a few minutes, and now I'm really starting to feel a bit of a tingle. It definitely wasn't instant, as I'm used to with some drugstore versions that I've tried of this. So yeah, it's good to feel that it does do something. And do I really see a plumping / maximizing effect? Perhaps a little bit. More so than I feel than some of the Catrice stuff that I've tried. For face, I'm going to be showing you, first of all, 3 products that are in my makeup memories box. I've got 3 face products that I no longer use in my makeup collection, but because the packaging is so pretty, I just can't let go of these. And the first two I want to show you, like I said, these are from the same line. These are from the Transat edition, which was a limited edition collection years ago. And this is the highlighter from that line, which is a really rich golden tone, which is way too dark for my skin tone. But this was one of the first highlighters I ever bought. And yeah, I've only really dipped my brush into the D to not mess up the product too much. Let me give it a swatch for you, because this still swatches just fine. It's really pretty, but this is sort of like Rosy highlighter kind of vibes, but this is far more yellow toned and it was much too dark for me. And then I have the blush from that collection as well. And that one is a bit difficult to swatch because then I'll just mess up the pattern. But it's a really nice pinky blush. I just felt that this shade of pink didn't really go for me. And the reason why I can't get rid of these is because these are metal packaging. They have since switched to plastic packaging, but this is metal and they are really heavy. And that's why I can't get rid of these. In fact, I'm not sure if you can see, but this one has a bit of tarnishing on it from where the metal has, like where I've touched the metal all the time. Because I definitely did use these products for a good while. But yeah, not something that I really need anymore. And then I bought this one second. This is the highlighter from the Glowing Gardens collection, but this, if it's that pretty, you really can't use it. Plus this is quite an icy pinky kind of highlighter. And that's also never really been my favorite because of that. The one, so that's really icy pink. But the one that I decided to keep that I also got is just the Nude Air Luminizer in 001. I'm not sure if they still do this, but this is one of my favorite summertime highlighters. And that's why it's still in my collection. It is a little deep for me for most of the year. And the shade really reminds me of the shade of the Charlotte Tilbury highlighter that I have. However, I did swatch them side by side before filming this video, and I do know that this is a little darker than that even. This is a really pretty, like rose gold kind of shade. It's probably not going to be working for me right now, but I do really want to put this on my face so you can see it. And this is just, it's always been more unique in my collection than anything else that I have. So that's why that highlighter gets to be used. For blush, an OG Dior product is now called the Backstage Blush in Rosy Glow. This also comes in a coral shade, but this really bright pink blush shade was one that has been around in Dior's line for years, and it was on my wish list for such a long time, but it always came in like a square compact with like room for a brush, and you just didn't get as much product. This is 4.6 grams of product, and now you just get the pan, which is what I like a lot better. And this is my favorite blush shade to wear in like the winter time. It's that really vibrant, like blue tone pink. It looks like nothing in a swatch, but when you put it on with a brush, it really makes your cheeks come alive. And then specifically for this video, I just bought this yesterday. What was newly released were some bronzers earlier this spring, and I was like, I really want to try that. It's got really nice like leather packaging. It's so pretty. And then when you open it up, this is what the bronzer looks like. Now I have mine in shade 4, and I held off of buying this until I could go to a store to see the shades, because online I felt I couldn't really figure out what shade might work for me. So I went with one. There are 6 shades in total, so then you might think, Micah, you're super fair. Why did you buy shade 4? Well, let me swatch it for you. It's not that dark. And what I found out when I looked at these in store, right there, is that shades 1, 2, and 3 have more of an orangey, warmer undertone, and shades 4, 5, 6 have more of an ashy, like more neutral, cooler undertone, which works better on me. Do you just see that this bronzer has quite a bit of yellow to it? And yellow undertone bronzers are my favorite. So I'm really happy that I held out and that I didn't just purchase this online, because then I probably would have bought shade 1 and it just looked really strange when I swatched it. But this looks like a bronzer I might like. So I'm going to use all 3 of these for sure, but maybe just for funsies, I also want to top things off with this little face palette. You haven't seen this one yet because this was my original purchase before this launch was announced to try and supplement my Dior face products here. This is the Backstage Glow Face Palette with two highlighters, a white one and a champagne one, a very lovely like shimmering blush, and a bronzer shade. And what I think I may want to do is maybe make the bronzer a little bit more glowy. And what I like to do, because I've used this a few times already just to try it out, is to use these two shades, and I like blending them together because this is a little, well, too red toned of a bronzer for me. Let me swatch it next to the other one. You just see that that's a lot more red toned and far more intense. So I actually like to use that champagne shade to just tone it down just a little bit. And do you just see if you put that over it that it becomes a little lighter, and then it just works a lot better. And then also this blush shade is really, really pretty. So I think I will just layer this palette over the other products once I'm done, just to make it one big glowy extravaganza. I do have somewhere else to go today, but I'm really sure that they don't really mind if I look like a bit of a, well, it's not shimmer. It's not like disco ball shimmer, but you are going to look very glowy. And that's what I love now, is that, yes, that highlighter is of course already glowy, but also this bronzer, it looks really matte in the pan, but it has just a little bit of like a satiny sheen when you apply it. I really like the quality of all of these products, which is why I now have them. So let me start with the bronzer first. This is the first time I'm putting this on my face, you guys, so I really, really hope it's going to look nice. I'll use this up and up brush, and then just be very careful that I don't overdo it. Oh, and I say I have to be careful I don't overdo it. I don't think that's the case. So that's what the bronzer looks like. I'm super happy with this. This is exactly what I need from a bronzer. It gives me just the right amount of just something sun-kissed, but nothing too crazy. It's not muddy on me. It looks really nice and natural, actually. So happy with that. Like I said, I am going to be using this highlighter, so this is way too dark. I already know that. I can usually only use this in like the height of summer. So like August time, that's when I usually use this. So yeah, it looks really pretty in the viewfinder especially, you really see that glow, but in real life I do feel that you can sort of see that base pigment like lying on my cheeks a little too much than I would like. And then for blush, I'm going to be using that Rosy Glow one. And as you can see, on my super fair skin, this does exactly enough to give me that pop of something pretty on the cheeks, just that little bit of flush. I love it. Now let's see if we can play with this puppy a bit. And that just adds just a little bit of glow. See, also really pretty. And then what I'll just do is I'll also use that white highlighter and just put that a little bit over it, just to tone down the shade of that highlighter a little bit. All right, so let's talk eyeshadow. When it comes to Dior shadow, I have a couple of options here, and one of these is from my Makeup Memories box. So I'm going to be showing you this. This is a, what are these called again? The Dior Show Fusion Mono. I have this in the shade Millennium. These were discontinued, and the reason why I keep it around is A, gorgeous packaging, and it does do this. So it's very dry. However, for how dry this is, it does still swatch. I could still use this. However, I think Dior discontinued these like 5 years ago, so I don't know whether I still should use it, but this was always, oh, it still feels so creamy going on. This was one of my favorite one shadow and you're done kind of looks. Look at how that shears out. It's so pretty. And then what I paired it with is an eyeshadow palette that is also way too old, but since it's powder, I feel better about using that. It's this little compact. I got this with a gift voucher years ago, and I love this one. This is one of my favorite pieces of packaging which is again why I cannot get rid of it. It's got a little pop-up mirror, and then I'm not sure if I now can show you what these shades look like, but it's got 3 like khaki gold shades, and especially the shimmering khaki that's in here is pretty much the same shade as that cream shadow. So I would always like layer these over each other. Like that was the look that I would go for. This was back when I didn't know how to do eyeshadow, people. But since khaki eyeshadow is such a big thing, I definitely know I want to play with this palette today and maybe substitute in some of the other shades that I've got going for this. Like I said, Dior was one of my OG favorite brands way back in the day. So also these quintets that I have by them are quite old, save for this one. This is the newest one I have. This is from last winter. This is Black Night from their Golden Nights limited edition collection. And it was that smoky eye quad that they did. It's got some really stunning like charcoaly, navy, burgundy kind of shades. This had my name written all over it, but I already used this palette in a Get Ready With Me in like November or October. So I'll make sure to find that video and link it down below so you can see the look I did with that. And then what I have left here, this is some of my OG makeup, is one of their 5 Couleurs in Graphic Lights. This is pinks. This is not gonna go with the khaki, but I've always kept it around for this salmony pink shade that it's got. And it's really like that kind of pink shade that is not like, it's just not very now, but like a decade ago, I loved wearing pinks like this. But the 2 favorites that I bought a long time ago are this navy one and this purpley one. And actually, both of these are really good smoky eye quads. And that's what I've always kept them around for, because this is a navy smoky eye and this is a plum smoky eye. Again, I don't think the plums really go with the khakis. I'm not sure if you can hear that, but one of my neighbors has decided to do yard work, I think. I'm not sure. But all of a sudden there's a load of noise. But yeah, these grays and blues I think I could pull in with some of the khakis. So let me swatch. Like I swatched these 2 shades for you from the navy one. And while these are like super old and powdery, like they still work really well. And then in here, I've swatched the purple and the burgundy, which look like that. And these all have like a satiny kind of feel to them. So not really now, but I just thought we could play with these really stunning khakis and a little bit of that gold in the inner corner. It's the most neutral thing here that I have, and then I'll see if I need to supplement for anything else. So I'm going to zoom you in and then show you, tell you a little bit more about what I did. All right, so that's the eye look done. I actually didn't really go beyond this little 3-part palette. I used this khaki shade all over the lid, this one in the crease, and on the lower lash line, and that's in the inner corner. The only thing I did do is use this charcoal gray from the Black Night palette to do a little bit of a smoky liner along the top lash to make it a little bit more smoky. And now that I'm putting this on, I remember why I like this so much. it really goes really well with my eye color. This like khaki shade really makes brown eyes pop, I feel. And I knew I wanted to go for something neutral because for lips, because that will be the final category, I already knew before filming this video what I wanted to put on. But before we do that, before we talk about what I'm gonna put on, I want to talk to you about, again, a couple of products from my makeup memories box, because Dior lipsticks have been a little bit of a passion project of mine, I have to say. I mainly bought these because they have pretty packaging, not gonna lie. And not all of these are also shades that I really think suit me very well or very flattering, but I've got a couple of other lipsticks that I do really like. So let me talk to you about this one first. This is their Diorific line, I believe, and this shade, like a brown toned red, like what was I thinking? This also smells like Play-Doh by now. I mean, it still swatches. It's more like a terracotta kind of shade. It has a bit of like pinky orange running through it. I remember this just made me look like I was in my like, I don't know, a little too grandma-ish for what I would want to go for, so I completely bought the wrong shade, but I just love this packaging, not gonna lie. And then I have another gloss here. This is actually, this came with a lipstick. Let me do that then together. So this was when Jennifer Lawrence became the spokesperson for the makeup line. She wore this lip combo in the promo pictures and I loved it on her and wanted to try it out, and then they had a deal. So these are the Dior Addict lipstick in B Dior, and this is the Dior Addict lip gloss. I can't read this. Like, it makes me think that I need glasses when I don't. But this lipstick was like a really nice like deep pink shade, but I don't really like this kind of color in this kind of formula, I have found, because this is a very creamy formula and it just kind of goes all over the place. But yeah, the packaging was really pretty holographic, so I fell for that. And the Dior lip glosses, man, they're just too pretty. And these shades go together really quickly, really nicely. So they are really pretty, but pink gloss, no, just not. And then I have this Dior Addict Fluid Lipstick, and this is shaped, like the product inside it is shaped like a lipstick. Let me turn it around so you can see. It's really pretty. Again, this is more like a lip lacquer, and this was released around the time that everybody's wearing like super matte liquid lipsticks. And this is like a bright coral. Ooh, this, wow, that has gone off. I will not be putting that on my lips. I don't mind a swatch, but the product is no longer good. And this is another Dior Addict lipstick. This I can read. This is the Dior Addict Extreme in Fireworks. And this I could never throw away because this is one of my OG reds. This smells okay, actually. I could perhaps potentially still wear it. But this is a sheer red. And back when I just wasn't that confident in wearing a full-on red, this kind of red was my jam. Now, another really older, like an older lip product that I still like to wear from time to time is my OG lip gloss love, the Dior, this I can read, Dior Addict Gloss in Fustes 154. And this is really pretty. This is like this is my favorite like topper kind of lip gloss. So the kind of lip gloss that you just sort of put on top of a nude lip just to give your lip a little bit more shine. That's this one for me. It's perfect. The shade is this really nice like milky shade, but it's got lots of sparkle running through it as well. And this just smells absolutely divine till this day. And then, because I wanted to try some more Dior lip stuff, and I was really into like trying lip glosses at the end of 2020, so I bought one of their glow oils, the Lip Glow Oil, I think in the shade pink. Yes, this is shade pink, and on me it just pulls kind of clear, but the texture, the formula of this is really, really nice. So I do really like it. It's right here, but it's just not really doing anything for me shade-wise. But I could see myself potentially using this up, especially if I were to use it as like the start of my makeup routine. Like I now use the Lip Maximizer to use it at the start and then just leave it sitting there. It's just not really doing enough for me color-wise, I feel. But it's a very, very nourishing product, that's for sure. But the product I want to use, which is a product I bought for this video, is a lipstick from Dior. Actually, I remember owning 2 bullet lipsticks from Dior, which I must have decluttered and never put in a makeup memories box because they just weren't that special. I remember having a shimmering pink number, and I used to have this lipstick, 999, Dior's classic red lipstick. However, Dior has redone their lipstick line, and this particular shade, I'm not sure if they do it for every shade, but this shade now comes in 4 different formulas. You can get it as a satin, a cream, a velvet matte, and you can also get it, I think, as a metallic. So I'm not sure if it's for the entire line that they used to do, but this is new, plus the packaging is refillable. So if I ever run out of this, I could potentially just buy something that will slot into the packaging, which I think is really good from a sustainability perspective. But yeah, this is Dior's classic red lipstick. It now comes with this like velvet touch kind of design to the bullet, and I bought it in the matte formula because one of the reasons why my original 999 wasn't perfect was it because it came in their like standard satin formula, and I don't like the look of a cream red on myself. I just don't. So that wasn't my favorite. And then what also wasn't great about that lipstick is that it broke off. Like after 5 uses, the bullet just snapped in half, and no matter how hard I tried, I could never put it back together. So I'm pretty sure I just chucked that one in the bin because it wasn't working. So let me swatch this for you. And I didn't remember this being this orange toned actually. I thought it was more blue toned, but that's what 999 looks like. So this is the one I want to put on my lips for you because I think it will go really nicely with this like cocky eye and then a red lip. That's like very sort of like 2011 me. Like really when I started taking makeup a bit more seriously, that's the look I went for. So let me show you what this looks like, lipstick looks like on. You know how I feel about red lipstick. You know it's one of my favorite shades to wear, and this is why. I'm not sure whether 999 is definitely like my like holy grail red of all time reds. I don't think it is, and I'd have to say that because of the way this bullet is cut, I don't find it super easy to really get into my Cupid's bow, so I think I need to fix that actually. So yeah, it was a shade I used to own. I knew when I planned to do this video, I was like, I need that lipstick again in my life. And then I saw that they redid the line and they now do this in like a velvet touch matte. This isn't the longest wearing matte lipstick in my life either, so that's always been a gripe with a lot of Dior lipsticks that I've tried, is that they just don't have the longevity that, for instance, a MAC one has, and that's half the price of this because this was an expensive lipstick. I think this is now the most expensive lipstick I own, but yeah, for that luxury experience, I definitely wanted to have this again in my life. So yeah, that's it for me for this video, a full face of Dior. I hope you enjoyed my little rave about all of these products. I definitely am feeling like the face look, I really like that. Like their complexion products have always been some of my favorites. Just their color products in terms of like eyeshadow and lipstick, I feel I have many better formulas in my life. However, that I've put this like cocky shade on again, I'm like, oh yeah, this is why I don't need like any other like designated cocky eyeshadows, because I've got that one. So yeah, yeah, thank you very much for watching today's video. If you would like to give this video a thumbs up because you liked it, that would be lovely because it helps out my videos for sure. If you want to stick around and see what else I do here on this channel, then please subscribe because I make 3 new videos a week. And then all that rests me is to wish you a lovely, lovely day, and I will be back with a new video soon. So I hope to see you in that one. Bye-bye!